Hi everybody. So today I'm going to do a review of the Rainbow Study Bible. This one is done by Holman. I do have this one here, and then I also have two older ones. So there are some differences in them. So I'll show you this one first, which is the newest type version, and then I'll show you the difference in these older type ones. So let's go ahead and take a peek at it. So this one here measures out at 9.5 inches tall, 6 3/4 by 1 1/4 inches. It is an imitation leather. We do have gold gilded page edges, which look nice. I think Holman always does a good job on their Bibles. This one here, these three here actually are all in the NIV, so they are the New International Version. See, Holman Rainbow Study Bible. We've got the Holman logo. So this is in an imitation leather, much like the saddle brown leather touch. It feels just like that, but it looks really nice the way that they've got the pink stitching there. Looks really good with the cover on there with that pink. I believe that they call this particular one fuchsia. This one was a limited edition color, so I don't know if you'd be able to find one in this color or not unless you found one used. So let's take a peek at the inside. So we've got a paper paste down liner, but it is done very well. Looks nice. And we've just got our cardstock. Then we get right into it. So one thing that is very neat on here is they call this one the bold line edition. So the words of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit all have the bold underlining. So that is one neat feature that's in this, which I do like. So here's our copyright page. Here's some of the different ones that are available. They have this available in both the NIV and the King James Version. And I've seen covers on both. I've had both. But I've given away the King James one, so I've got these left. So here's some scriptural promise for the Holman Rainbow Study Bible. So if you wanted to pause that and read that, that is kind of neat. This is just a unique little Bible. You've got a note to the reader there. And there's a lot of features that is in this one. So you can kind of see there that there is quite a bit of features in this one. So some of these I'm going to kind of skip over those because I don't want this video to be super long. So we've got our typical books of the Bible in alphabetical order. All of our table of contents. But one thing that's really neat is how they have this color-coded guide for different subject headings. So there's 12 themes in this Bible. So those are the 12 themes here. And every verse in this Bible is color-coded to match one of these themes. So over here it kind of tells you like what information there would be. So for God, it's either going to be the Father, the Son, Jesus Christ, or the Holy Spirit. Talks about discipleship, love, faith. So these are just some of the things that's going to be, that they're kind of highlighting that would go with that color code. So it's very unique in that sense. It's not a study Bible in the sense that it has any study notes. It's just in these themes. Then they've also got subject breakdowns. They've got examples of the color-coded verses. So if you wanted to pause that there, you could see some of the examples on these 6 different things right here. I have been asked more about these Bibles when I've been somewhere and I have these and people see the pages. They always ask what it is. So I've got a God's plan of salvation, and then we get right into the Old Testament. It does have a nice book introduction on each one of the books. It gives us the date written, the time span, the title and background, where it was written, to whom, the content. We've got key words, a theme, and an outline. So you're going to get this on all 66 of the books. But this here is what makes this very unique. So we also do have the center column references, but here's an example here in the let there be light of it, that being underlined when God is speaking. So that is very very unique in this. But one nice thing that is different on this one versus my older versions is they do put these color codes on the bottom of every single page of the Bible. So that's one thing that sets it apart from the older versions, which I'll show you here in just a minute. And so there's also a lot of in-text maps, like this one here. And then it gives us the key places in Genesis. So that's pretty neat that you don't have to, when you're reading it, you can refer to this, find what you're looking for, and then go right into the map itself. So I do really like that. But these color-coded themes are just awesome. I love reading out of these. They're really neat. They're done very, very well. The print quality and the paper and everything on these are very nice. And with the color coding, it kind of makes it to where you really don't get any ghosting. So that makes it really nice. I mean, you can see right here in this white section, you can see a little bit there. But when you're looking at that gray text on verse 8, you don't see any of that. So that is very neat the way that that is done. Makes it easy to read. You don't have those distractions of the ghosting. But you do get just a lot of nice in-text maps, which is really neat. We do have, on this one, we do have a ribbon marker. This one is done in the pink, but looks nice with the color of that cover. But just a neat Bible. Here's another example of a full color illustration there, an artist's rendition. But it is nice that with each one you can, like if you were to look at this verse here, you can go down and see that that's a verse pertaining to God. So it's very unique in the way that it's done. There was a guy named Billy Huey that spent, I believe he spent 16 years color coding his Bible and color coding every verse in the Bible. Took him about 16 years, and he did it in all of these 12 themes. And that's kind of how this got created. But one thing that's neat is like in the Psalms there, and then also here in the Proverbs, you can see how many different colors are on each page. So if you were just wanting to say that you just wanted to look at verses one day that pertain to love, you're going to go down, you're going to see that it's green. And then you can just flip through the Bible in certain sections and just look at all of those verses that would be in green. If you wanted to look at verses pertaining to family, you could go through all of the ones that are in yellow. So if you had young kids and we're kind of teaching them about the Bible, this would be a good one, because you could highlight some of these different ones as far as like discipleship. You could teach them about God and love and family, and have quick, easy references to be able to go through and find all of those particular verses. So I have done that quite a bit when I've been reading out of these. I'll just pick one of these on the bottom, and then that's what I'll read that day. So it's kind of neat in that sense. Here's another full color illustration. But I have more people ask me about this Bible than I do any other Bibles that I've got. And I've given away probably more of these, and a lot of NIVs, a lot of KJVs. But it's usually because wherever I'm at and I've got one and the pages are open, people see all those color pages, and it piques their curiosity, so they come and they ask me, "Oh, do you mind if I ask you about what book you got there?" And then I show it to them, and they just think it's amazing. They love it. So this is a very unique little Bible. So we've got the supplemental study aids. So there's quite a bit of information there. A lot of neat features in this one. I really like it. So we've got there the table of the weights and measures there. We've got ancient versions of the biblical text. We've got a page that says Know What God Says. We've got 100 popular Bible passages. So it gives you 50 in the Old Testament, 50 in the New. So that's pretty neat there. This here is really neat. So there's 365 popular Bible quotations for memorization and meditation. So they've got selections from the Old and New Testament, as we can see there. So for each day, we have a different verse to memorize. So that's pretty neat. And then you can put in the date that you did memorize that. So you can mark them off in here. But that's just, I think that is very unique. That's very neat. So if you wanted to, if you were looking at discipleship and outreach, you could go down and see the colors that those are. And if you were wanting to do some outreach with people, you could focus on the verses that deal with that. So I do really think that is a neat feature. So there's several pages of that. Then we also have, this one here is a one-year Bible reading calendar. And then we've got the personal daily Bible reading calendar. And then so we've got pages for pretty much each book. So if you kind of wanted to do your own reading plan, you could. This is another awesome feature here that I think anybody would like, and that's the Harmony of the Gospels. So if you were looking for something that you wanted to see what verses are covered in all four, here's an example here. So Jesus returns to Galilee. So it's going to tell us in each of the Gospels where it's at, the chapter and the verse. So it's kind of neat to see how many are in some of them, and then like this one, it's only in one. We've got some over here that are only in one of the Gospels. So that's a neat, interesting feature there. I do really like that, because there's not a ton that is in all four. So there's a lot that's in all three, but it's a little more sporadic on ones that are all four. So then we've got a nice concordance. And the King James Version is going to have all of the same stuff in it, so it's going to be identical other than the translation. But they do have all the same features because I had both. I just don't have a KJV one in this one at the moment, giving all of those out. So we've got the nice 3-column format on the concordance, which is nice. And then, so we've got a ton of maps that are within the text itself. As you're seeing, just, I think only one example of that because I didn't flip through a lot of the pages. We also do have, if I can turn this single-handedly, so we've got personal study note pages. So we do have 4 or 5 pages of the lined paper for that. And then we've also got 8 full-color maps here in the back as well. So these are some of the kind of the typical Holman maps, but they are nicely done. But you've got a ton more maps within the text itself. So nicely done the way they do that. I have kind of got a little damage there. I can't remember if that, I think that was my dog. But luckily it's on the inside, not on the outside. But just a nice looking Bible, the way that they do them. They've got a lot of different cover options. So I'm going to kind of show you the difference between this newest version and these older versions. So let me get these out of the way. So this pink one is one of the newest ones. This one is a little bit older. This one's a bonded leather. I'm going to get that box out of the way there. So one different thing is, I mean, they've done the spine differently on there. But one of the biggest things is these older ones did not have all of the themes along the bottom. So it does make it harder because you don't have all those color-coded themes. So you would have to have the bookmark with you. And so when I've taken either of these with me somewhere, I have some bookmarks that I've made that have these on them that are not quite as wide. I've done them kind of a little bit more narrow with some micron type pens. So these are a little bit harder to use because of that. You just need to either try to memorize those 12 colors or make sure you don't lose that bookmark. Now this one here did not come with the Bible tabs. I've added those myself, but I went with the rainbow tabs to match, of course, the Rainbow Bible. But still same type of features, just not having that along the bottom. So if you do look at getting one, that would be one thing that I would definitely watch for, would be for that, because it is definitely easier having those on the bottom. And then this one is even older. And this one here is a hardcover edition. It is pretty old. It's had a lot of use, but the cover was kind of looking a little ugly, so I took one of my favorite shirts of my husband's, once it got a little hole in it, and I covered this one myself with one of his old shirts. So it looks pretty cool, makes it unique. You can't really tell what kind of book it is. I've had people ask me, hey, what kind of book is that? That's kind of a different cover. And so then when I show them that it's a Bible and that it's a rainbow Bible, they all think that's pretty cool. So it is kind of unique that it's in that material, but this one also does not have those color codes on the bottom. So again, these are on every single page of the Bible. So as you can see, flipping through there, it is on every page. You don't have to refer back to anything. So if you do look at one, you'll want to keep that in mind. But just a neat Bible. So that's kind of fun that it's covered, and then I've just did my own little ribbon bookmarker in there. But they are a very unique Bible. Those color codes are pretty cool. So it would be a great gift for anybody. It'd be a good Bible for yourself. I do enjoy reading out of these. The print quality and everything on them is great. You don't have any issues with ghosting. So as you can see there, I mean, you don't even, the camera doesn't even pick anything up. So, and usually it's quite a bit heavier on the camera. Looks like you can kind of see a little bit down here that the camera picks up, but to the naked eye, you can't see any of that. So, great little study Bible with these themes. I really enjoy it, so I just thought I would give you guys a quick review of that. And again, you can get it in the newest version. You can get it, this is a pretty old one. Gosh, this one's really old. I don't remember how old that one is. And then a little bit older one, but still a great Bible. They're very, very neat. I enjoy them. I've given out a ton of these because it is one that more people have asked me about these than any other Bible that I've had when I've been somewhere. So I think that is one kind of neat thing. So if you got yourself one, you'd probably kind of notice that if you took it anywhere. So this one was done by Standard, but Holman's the one that does it now. So this one is the Holman Rainbow Study Bible. Comes in the NIV and then also in the King James. So I really would love to see Holman do this in the CSB. That would be fantastic. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.